Hi, I just wanted to get a quick tirade of thoughts out whilst they're fresh to me. I've been trying to think about what's useful, what information is useful to share, and different topics kind of come up in synchronistic ways that make me think, okay, that's the next piece of knowledge for me to try to synthesize in a way that I can explain it to other people. And when I'm doing this, when I'm going through that process, it's really helpful to me because speaking knowledge out loud accesses different parts of the brain and than just thinking about it, right? And brings form to the knowledge, I suppose. It's like aggregating it into something that's simple and easy to digest, hopefully. So the topic that I've been thinking about, or the synchronistic kind of ramble through my own head and in the external recently, has all been about service. And it links to the last video that I made about now's time to take action in whatever and in every way that we can to kind of move the energy forwards and get us through the gate. And probably some of you are aware, if you're not, there's some really interesting reading to do around this notion of service. And that can be found in The Law of One, the raw material by LL Research or Don Elkins and co. And I'll give you a bit of history to that, but just to let you know, LL Research is still very active, although the raw material is a set of 5 books. There's much more that's been asked and explored beyond that material. But anyway, within the Law of One, the raw material, there's a lot of talk about polarity and how essentially what we're doing in this life cycle is deciding our own polarity, so whether we're positively or negatively polarized. And neither of those, they're different paths, the right and the left hand, but neither of those paths from the biggest sense are negative. They all roads lead home, right? But one's going to take a significantly more number of life cycles to complete than the other. So what they say in the raw material, and this is it runs through other texts as well, and notions of what the ascension process is about, but it's the one that kind of was most profound to me and made me really think about what it is that I can do to be of service. So in the raw material, they say that an entity, i.e. an individual, should aim to be 51% service to others. So 51% of our time, our energy, spent being of service to others rather than being service to self. So, excuse me. So it's about finding balance. And I think the more quickly and decisively we polarize to either of those, the service to self or service to others, the more rapidly or slowly we ascend. And then there's quite a lot of discussion to be had about what is service and what constitutes service to self versus service to others. So there's some really obvious things that we can do to tip the balance in favour of the light, if you like. And that's to take any and all opportunities that we see around us to help and be kind in any and every way that we can. So you see somebody struggling with their bags, offer to lend a hand. You see an ad online with someone requesting help, and be safe about these things. You have something that you can give to goodwill. A smile at somebody, even if they don't smile back. Making eye contact with another human being. Anything and everything that we do can be an act of service. But it's kind of a circular thing. There are the overt things that we can do, offering our services to be of help in really fundamental ways. But then the thing that always confused me, and I know that everything is a paradox here, so both things are always true. Like the dark is working for the light, ultimately. And we have to have a dark for there to be a catalyst for the growth of the light. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so it's kind of circular though, but it's a paradox in that service to self can also ultimately be service to others. So that's to say that if we're in the process of healing and there's things that we need to do to get ourselves less of a wounded healer and more of a holistic, balanced, integrated healer that can really support others and offer space for them in trying times, then we need to own our own stuff first and be of service to self so that we can be of service to others. So, shadow work, parts work, taking up new physical activities, learning yoga practice, Falun Dafa, grounding, gardening, growing plants, sorting out our diet, sorting out how we shop, how ethical that is, where we source our foods from, and looking at ways to detox the body, having psychotherapy, seeing healers. All of those things from one perspective sound like they're selfish, and that would be service to self, but from the bigger perspective, it's not. This work that we do on ourselves to make ourselves more centered, happy, genuinely safe feeling humans with gnosis to share, then the more we can be in the world, the better we can be to other people, the more support we can offer, the more service to others we can be. So it's kind of, it's I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. My point is, following on from the last video that I did, which was aiming to be quite motivational, that anything that you do that improves the world around you is, and the world within you, is service to others. And I have this tendency to bite off more than I can chew. So when I realised that my healing journey had begun, I wanted to sort all of those things. I wanted to sort out my financial issues. I wanted to sort out my body issues. I wanted to sort out my trauma. And it kind of gets overwhelming. If we're not careful, we overburden ourselves, I think. So take your foot off the gas when you need to rest. But just never miss an opportunity to be kind, to give love, and know that it will come back to you threefold. You might have to wait. You might have to wait a while because the energy moves slowly in 3D. But it will come back to you. And if you've been doing all those things, then I hope you're feeling the love in my voice. Some of that's coming back to you right now. that you are appreciated, that I'm very grateful for everybody on the healing path, everyone who is being brave enough to look at their own shit, to forgive themselves, to forgive others, to take responsibility, and to hold faith when it all feels so bleak sometimes. I really believe that we've got this. I really believe that we're not far from pushing through a gateway. And I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know if it will get darker before it gets lighter. I don't have to know, I suppose, right? All I have to know is that we do it. So I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to share my framework for thinking about what service is. So long as we're acting with good intention and from a high level of morality, and all is good. It always is anyway, but I'm not saying this so that people feel that they should take shit from others. I don't think we should. I think part of having a high level of self-respect is knowing when other people need to see a boundary, to perceive a boundary, because that also teaches them. But there's ways of doing it right. We can speak to one another kindly and lovingly, even when we disagree. So, continue. As you were, keep finding ways to be kind, be creative, dance more, walk barefoot in the garden, make yourself something yummy to eat, rest when you need to, hydrate, write, share your ideas, share your art, share your thoughts, share your heart. Some really beautiful souls here on planet Earth at this time. And I'm starting to feel really excited for what comes next. Okay, much love. No doubt we'll speak again soon. Bye.